Alright, my name's Austin Mitchell, and I'm from Group 1, and we just watched New Insights on Poverty by Hans Rosling. It's a pretty cool video. He talked about um, how the impossible is possible, and I really liked how he swallowed the sword at the end of the video. That was pretty sweet. Dude's like 60 years old, and that was pretty intense. Um, he talked about how the United States about how they're so concerned about money and how they're, even though they were really good with their money in history, that they haven't had the best health benefits. Um, and that it took us a while to get up to the health benefits of other third world countries such as India and I forget another country that was high above Sweden. Um, and so I think that I kind of agree with him, but I also disagree because in 1957 we had a lot more money than Sweden and India did, but they had higher health benefits. But once we got up, but that was by the time that they were at 2002. But for us, once we were at 2002, we had the same health benefits, but we also had more money. So kind of disagree with him, but I also agree, kind of just up in the air about it. But it was a cool video. So I'm going to pass you off to Braden now.
Hello, my name is Braden Clark, and the main message I got from what's his name? Hans Gosling TED Talk was similar to Austin's insight, was that the impossible is possible, and that he talked about all these countries and how they've developed for the past 100 years economically, how they developed in the health industry. And he mentioned how a lot of people see Africa as doing bad right now. Um, but he talked about how Africa's come a long ways in the past 50 years. I think that's an important thing to remember as we are looking at these different countries that are developing, that we can't compare them directly straight from the developing country to one of the power countries, say the U.S., because if we do that, then it does look like they haven't come a long ways. But if we compare them to themselves and where they've come, Africa has come a long ways. And also another key insight I thought he mentioned was how money has a big effect on health and the environment, and those benefits, that the countries that do have more money, there is a direct relationship to them having better health, having a higher or less mortality rate, and overall better health system. And those are my insights from his TED Talk.
Hi, I am Jesse Bilodeau. Um, I agree with a lot what was said before, that we really need to look at not how something necessarily is doing right now, but how far it's come and how much farther it can go. So, like it was said, 50 years ago, Africa was in a pre-medieval state, and now it is in about the state of um, turn of the century Europe. So the time between then and now, it was only been within the last like 20 years. So within about my lifetime, that Africa has really gained any attention and given any real development. So think that as we go along and increase how much we give to Africa and how much we try to help them, just think about how far else it can go. I mean, that was what his whole thing was: is the impossible becoming possible. And
Hi, I'm Mandy Carrillo, and I'm also in Group 1, and I'll be finishing off this video. But yeah, so it was really cool to see that he had all these graphs to show what's been going on, and also how he can track it, what'll happen in the future, just by the statistics that he had. And then also, I really enjoyed his PowerPoint on saying how there's all these different dimensions of development. And he said, along with those dimensions, you also have to have a means and goals, and the most important goals were culture and human rights. But somehow he said that the means didn't really match up with that. So I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, so along with the, oh, and also it was pretty cool to see how the different living circumstances of those people, from like those who make $1 a day, $2 to $5 a day, and then $10 a day, and it like he actually went around and showed what the restrooms look like, what their sleep, where they slept at, and all that stuff, and that was really cool. And I'm still pretty skeptical to see that the sword really went all the way down his body, but I'm sure it happened. So yeah, so that was the message, that the seemingly impossible is possible, and that was our new insights on poverty.